Hey, Tom Hegna here. I get, email questions all the time, so I'm going to just go through a couple of them with you today. So, one guy writes to me, I've not heard your presentation, so I have no syllabus except the main topics of longevity, long-term care, and the key to happiness. So I want to ask these questions, which may or may not be related to your presentation. Thank you. What about your thoughts about 401k to IRA rollovers? Well, look, 401ks can be rolled to IRAs, and I think in many cases it can work out well. There's no taxable event when it goes over, and you can roll it into a regular IRA. You can roll it into stocks, mutual funds. You can roll it into annuities. It'll be an IRA, so there's no taxability on the transfer. But when you take money out, it'll be taxable. There are some times when it's better to leave it in the 401k. The 401k might have lower fees, but it might not have as many features as other IRAs. So it really depends on what you want. I worked hard for my money, and I want my money to work hard for me. How to achieve this? I have no interest in an annuity. Well, look, when it comes to retirement, whether you have an interest in an annuity or not, you really need one because you can't retire optimally without one. Now, when you're saving for a retirement, you don't necessarily need an annuity. The annuity gives you some guarantees that you don't have in managed money or mutual funds. But when you're saving and investing, the key is to be diversified. You don't want to put all your eggs in any one basket. You might want to have some real estate exposure. You might want to have some stock exposure. You might want to have some international exposure. I'm on the record saying I support 1% of your portfolio in Bitcoin because 1%, if it goes to $1 million, you'll be happy you had 1%. If it goes to zero, it's not really going to affect you. So the key is to stay pretty much diversified. Then there's a question on RMDs. Are there options to be considered? Well, yeah, there's a lot of options. First of all, you don't now have to take your RMD until age 72 instead of 70 and a half. You can do a QLAC, a qualified longevity annuity contract, and you can do 25% of your IRA up to a certain limit that you don't even have to take an RMD until age 85. I have a strategy in my book, Paychecks and Playchecks, called RMD maximization. So you might want to check that out. You can also Google RMD maximization on YouTube. I got a YouTube video on it. It is my desire to make all charitable contributions to my church and other charities by QCD. The rules are unclear. Can you provide a resource for clear written guidance? Well, look, I'm not the charitable giving guy, but I will tell you, instead of leaving money to the charity, what you might want to do is check out buying a life insurance policy, naming the charity as the beneficiary. You can normally give a lot more because I always tell the story of this couple. They saved up $50,000 they want to give to charity. When they started talking about it, they each want to give $50,000. Well, how do you give $100,000 to charity if all you get is $50,000? You put it in a life insurance policy. It can give you $100,000 or more of gifting power. So I would look at life insurance as a way to give more with the same amount of dollars. How to best select an IRA company. Is there a mutual fund company that is reputable and nonprofit? Look, that's where I think what you want to do is work with a financial professional because I don't give any one company. And look, there's so many mutual funds that are good out there. Get a copy of Money Magazine or Barron's and they'll kind of give you who's got the best 5-year, 10-year, 15-year, some people are into this ESG, the environmentally, morally responsible or socially responsible investing. That's fine. I have nothing against that. But really, do you want to have the highest rates of return, or do you want to be socially? There's ways you can do both, and more of these companies are focusing on being environmentally sound, socially sound, morally sound. But that's a different definition from everybody out there. So those would be some of my thoughts on some of those questions, and I'm going to be doing some more videos on other people's questions as well.